to victory. Hold my hand and this day we know IQI is for you as it has been for me. In your heart and know this in your soul. Our hopes, our dreams are the same. My walls and you, I will finish this race, not alone by myself, but with you. Though tough times come, I will not waver. We will rise and become the new God. We will stand up and rise together. We will march into victory. Hold my hand and this day we know IQI is for you as it has been for me. Everyone shine. All of us live for a reason, for a freedom we shine. Stand up and rise together. We will march into victory. Hold my hand in the sky. We know IQI is for you as it has been for me. We will stand up and rise together. We will march into victory. Hold my hand in the sky. We know IQI is for you as it has been for me.
Hello everyone, welcome to our international prop chat once again. My name is Danny. I will be your host for today. Now, we all know that October is our month that we are focusing in Canada, and we get a lot of questions, from our audience. Some asking about the real estate market, and some asking about the migration part for Canada. So today, we are very lucky to have one of our partner from Canada. Okay, she's also from Malaysia. All right, so she is very professional and she is very knowledgeable in the migration part. Okay, so today we will have Janet from North Dynamics to join us. All right.
Hi all.
Hi Janet, how are you doing?
Hi, I'm good, thanks. Hi all. Thanks for inviting me to join today's chat. So my name is Janet. I'm a licensed immigration consultant recognized by the government of Canada to represent clients in their immigration applications services.
Yeah.
So,
right. Janet, I think there's of course there's a time zone difference, right?
yeah.
And it's day for you and it's night for us in Malaysia. Well, really thank you so much for being able to join us. Well, through our sessions for October, because October we are focusing on Canada, okay? And we get a lot of inquiries, some like, okay, what should I do if I want to study there? And also, who should I look for? And of course, over here today, we can tell everyone that if you are interested in migrating to Canada, you look for Janet, right?
Yes. Yeah. We as Danny mentioned, so our company is North Dynamics. So we are operating from Canada, Ontario, and also we have an overseas office in Kota Damansara, Malaysia.
So, that's very near to my house actually.
Oh, I see. Okay,
yeah,
good.
I stay in Bandar Utama.
Okay. Yeah. So what For our company, right, we serve the global clients. That means all the country in the world, and also the Canadian domestic market. Okay. So yeah, this is what we do. Basically, as a consultant, we could represent anyone from any country who are interested to immigrate to Canada.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, for example, like what type of service do you provide
Okay,
in North
basically,
Dynamics?
yeah. Basically, okay, when we talk about immigration applications, there are many different types of immigration applications. Now, the big two category we can categorize as temporary immigration application, and the other one is permanent. Temporary visas means it's just like a visiting visa. Let's say if you want to come to Canada to visit as a tourist, or you would like to visit your family member who is residing in Canada, or an international student who wants to come to Canada to study. So there's a student visa, and also a work visa, where someone who has received an offer, job offer from a Canadian company, so you need a work visa to come to Canada to work. And for this three category is considered as temporary visa. As for the other category, which is permanent visas, means you are applying a PR status, a permanent residence for yourself, and that would also include your family if you are married. So that will include your spouse and your children. So with that visa, you are legally to live, to work in Canada. Yeah. So that is the different. For temporary visa, like after like maybe, okay, for instance, as a visitor, right? After you visited the Canada, you have to go back to your country, right?
Yep.
And as a student, also after you complete your, let's say your university 4 years here, or your college 2 years here, that you will go back to your country. And the same as the other work visa, right? So after you complete your contract job offer with the Canadian company for 2 years or 3 years, then you're back to your country. As for permanent visas holder is for someone who would like to live a longer period, and that is the difference. Yeah.
So basically, before I seek for advice, okay, I need to know that, am I going for the temporary or actually going for the permanent, or from temporary to become permanent?
Yeah, there are many ways that we can look into it. It depends on what you want or what is your goal, right? Some people eventually, if they come to us and say, okay, I like to come in as a student, but eventually I like to apply for a permanent residence visa. So that is doable. That means you will come in as a temporary visa holder first. Let's say if you study, okay. Again, also I like to mention that as an international student, not necessarily you have to be at the student age to study. You can be a mature student, means that like you have out of the college or university and work for maybe 5-6 years or a couple number of years, and then you decided you want to like say, okay, I have a goal that I want to immigrate to Canada, but I need to upgrade my credential. I need to upgrade my skills, and I would like to specialize in certain skills that that will help me to advance my career, right? So with that kind of mature student, you are also able to apply to enroll into the college and take up a 1 or 2 years diploma. That will help you, like when you come to study here, right? So after complete your study, you are eligible to apply for work permit. They call it post-graduation work permit. Then from there, you gain the Canadian working experience. Then eventually you transition yourself from temporary resident to then to the permanent visa. But of course, the other criteria has to be met as well. So therefore, it is important for us to be able to evaluate your background, from the very beginning. Like we will assist you how to strategize to achieve your goal. Yeah.
Speaking of mature students, right? So how mature can I be, to like
Not
70s,
how
80s?
mature. Now it depends. Like, okay, for instance, someone so again, it's very much depend on your background, your personal
Yes.
information, right? Your age, your work experience, which your also say, how would I say, your education, right? Someone who, example, let's say this person is 40 something years old, okay? Then he said, okay, Jenna, I'd like to immigrate to Canada. What can I do? Or how can we suggest to him, right? So there, now let's say if this person has a bachelor degree, like he has completed a 4 years bachelor degree and has been working, I don't know, in certain profession for some years, right? Now, there is a program called Master Graduate Program, offered by the Ontario. This is a this is a provincial nomination program. Like whoever, if you come to Canada, Ontario, the province itself, to study a master or PhD if you want, right? To study PhD, right? There is for master, there is a program that after the completion of this master, of course, you will be given eligibility to apply for post-graduation work permit. And with the working experience and other criteria, so be able to go into like the application for Ontario provincial nomination. Then if your how would I say, your score has been met and you are being selected to apply for Ontario provincial nomination, then you will get a support letter for your PR eventually, because the PR application actually will have to go to the Immigration of Canada as a federal to approve your PR. But the nomination, like the support letter, is from Ontario, which is the most advanced province in Canada. Yeah, this is one of the way. Yeah, but someone who is maybe 35 years old or 30 years old, okay, as pretty young, you can, if you don't have any bachelor, it's fine. If let's say you have a diploma, you graduated in having a diploma certificate in your country of origin, right? And you want to take another diploma in Canada, is doable. Okay. Yeah. So, but I will suggest that whatever you intend to further your study, is best to to help you to advance your career. So with that also, you can apply into a college. Yeah. And then the same thing, if after completion you are eligible to apply for post-graduation work permit, then you can work and gain experience. So that way, that means you have the Canadian experience. There is a program, we call it Express Entry. Then they have a sub program called Canadian Experience Class. So that way it will be able to help you towards your immigration goal. Now, for this mature student, right? So when you come to study, some is still singles, no problem, but some with a family, right? In fact, actually, when you receive your student permit, right, you can further apply for your spouse. Your spouse can apply for open work permit. That means your spouse can come to Canada as well to start looking for a job. And if you have children who are below 18 years old, then they can have a free education in a public school. Yeah. So yeah,
Even though
children.
I'm a foreigner, they can attend public school.
If you are holding a student visa,
Oh, okay.
either one of the parent, let's say. So also sometimes for a married couple, right? So we also would like to know the wife and the husband's background or education, everything, so that we will give our suggestion, right? Perhaps instead of the husband who is going to be a student, maybe wife can be a student, because vice versa. If your husband is studying, the spouse, the wife can apply for work permit to look for a job. So that means the other half it could earn a Canadian salary here, right? To support a certain degree. And also, okay, for a student, international student, you can also work part-time. Yeah. Now, just recently, I think in October, the government of Canada had announced that for duration of a year from now until end of next year towards, usually the students is allowed to work for part-time no more than 20 hours. But because recently the employers complaining that it's hard for them to find employees, right? So the government has give a how to say a special 1 year duration for students to be able to work more than 20 hours.
Oh,
Okay,
okay.
this is not for long, but at this point of time, I think it's until next year. But towards the next year, we don't know what's going to happen, because immigration policy, and sometimes there are a lot of like special a handling or special like this one of the example, right? They might change from time to time. So yeah, so whoever is right now the student here, they are happy in the sense that they can work more than 20 hours to support the family. Yeah. And the children, regardless how many children, they say you have 5 children, as long as they are below 18 years old, they can study at the public school for free. Yeah.
Oh, that's a very good perk that Canadian government is offering right now.
Yeah. But just want to remind that even though like you can work and all this, but still this is under temporary. Remember, I was saying that temporary. So that means they are still foreigner. Like yeah, they are still foreigner. So of course, like eventually they transition from temporary visa to the permanent. Once you obtain your permanent visa, that means you can legally to work and then also to continue study in Canada. Yeah, but a lot of so that is the difference. However, for permanent visa, also there is a renewal, 5 years renewal required. As long as you still stay in Canada, you have job and you are here, it's renewable. But you have to like comply to the number of days residency obligation. That means like within 5 years, you need to stay more than 2 years or something like that. There are other, yeah. I think this is too, I'm going into a very too technical
Oh, no worries. Yeah,
information.
because it comes out naturally because of the
Yeah, the
conversation
flow is
flow.
there, right? So when I want
Yes.
to like introduce or share my information, like one after another, so that kind of information, the flow, coming into my mind. That's why
Yes.
I'm sharing it out. Yes.
Yeah, that's why we are very grateful that we have you here today. Because like a lot of the
Consultant, they
people like
don't.
during live stream, they might just glance it through. But of course, we can see that Janet is wanting to share a lot. No.
Yeah, because I too have the same experience, right? So we migrated here like mm, more than like 15 years, so we know, we understand. That's why I wanted to be a consultant so that I can educate our friends out there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Mm.
Educate and also share your personal experience. Now,
Yes.
Janet, okay, when we talk about like let's say the spouse, they can go for work, right?
Mm.
Okay, do they need to pay tax?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, because you are getting the employment here, right? It's because, yeah, because the employer in Canada, they employ you, they have to, you are in their how to say, the payroll, so they
Yeah.
have to submit your salary to the taxation. So yeah.
So basically, if you go there to study, your spouse go for work, your spouse pays tax like
Yeah.
normal.
Yeah, the taxation is depend, right? Because they also have a lot of rebate, and they also I think for taxation, we can rebate some of the thing, like in Canada they are very kind to the lower income category, so a lot of rebate or deduction can be done. Yeah, you can claim and things like that, like if rental, you can claim as rental versus your
Okay.
expenses and something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, you don't have to worry that you have to give a big chunk of tax.
Yeah, unless both of them already got a very good education credential, and get a very good job with high salary, then you, of course, it's not a very big chunk, but it depends on how you okay, as for example, also, right, the Canada, like with those high incomes, they might invest in the registered pension plan. That one is deductible from your taxation. So that one is yeah, it's another area of expertise.
All
Yeah.
right. Sure. Okay, then now let me come to this question because based on your own experience, what makes Canada such outstanding place that attract people to migrate over? I mean, throughout your career, your personal point of view.
Yeah, first thing first, just now you already mentioned Canada is very kind, right? To the
Yeah. Yes. True.
not to the applicant itself, but to
Yeah.
the and also because we need a professional to come to contribute. I think Canada really we have a big land, and not so like relatively proportionally the population versus the land is so small, right? So they still
Yes.
need higher population, and they really welcome people with skills, and also those professional people to come and contribute to the economy, and at the same time also they help the immigrant to establish themselves in Canada, and then they provide a lot of support. Like, okay, for instance, like once we are the consultant, and we represent you to apply for your PR. Now, after you got your PR, let's say if directly from overseas, right? But once you come here, you can go to we have the organization for settlement to help the newcomer to settle themselves.
Mhm.
They call it the immigration settlement program. So another type of people who support your settlement here,
Wow.
like they organize the how to look for a job, the kind of workshop, and also they carry out a lot of activity as well to help you to settle well in the society, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of volunteering job as well. Yeah, so a lot of support, like being a backup by the government to the new immigrant. Yeah,
Wow.
yes.
Wow, that's very fantastic because
Yeah,
as someone that knows nothing and want like just move there, to start a new life. All
yeah.
this support
You
structure
can
is
go to
very
those organizations, and then it's free of charge. Like even like let's say if the applicant's spouse maybe who is not so good in English, right? You can after like you got the PR, after you come here, right? You can enroll for a free English course. Like they will teach you, they call it ESL, like English as second language. So this course, I think, is free, or maybe $20 or $30 only. That's all. But you can attend those classes. They teach English. Yeah, it's free.
Wow,
I
that's
mean,
fantastic.
it is a kind of support to level up one's English level, right? Mm.
Yeah. And then of course, like let's say we are interested in, having you, to look for you for consultation. Before that, what should we prepare first?
Okay.
Yeah.
So first thing first, right? Let's say
Yeah.
if you are interested, first thing first, you must be very clear of your goal, right? So many people might say many things to you, but you yourself, you must be very clear that, okay, this is what I want. If 5 years down the road, this is what I want to achieve, right? Your goal.
Yes.
And also your willingness to invest. I'm not talking about dollar and cents, but there's a time. Invest in your time, and of course, costs. You need to have some costs, like consultation fee costs, like
Yeah.
application costs, and your initial settlement costs, right? And also you have to invest in your or you got to prepare your future lifestyle will be different, right? So like
Yes.
living in Canada and living in Malaysia or any other country in Asia is different. So you must
Yes.
mentally prepare that there is a change. You have to come up from your comfort zone.
Yeah, that's very
Yeah,
true.
yes. Some people, they like to stay in the comfort zone, but some people would like to come out from the comfort zone. So when we study, like when I study before, right, in management and things like that, or leadership course, they always tell us you should come out from your comfort zone.
Yep.
So that's what I did. But it's challenging. It's challenging, right? So you mentally, and you must prepare. You must, and also you must prepare that you can. It's very. I didn't say impossible, but it's unlikely that you'll be living like status quo in a sense, like what you have exactly in your home country, right?
Mhm.
Because to immigrate to different country, not only to Canada, but any of the country, you need to have the first few years of adjustment. And
Yes.
also, yeah, so, but believe me, if you come here, you migrate here, everyone would tell you, okay, give it a 2, 3, I don't know, maybe now it's 3 to 4 years. Before was 2 to 3 years. 3 to 4 years, give yourself some time, then eventually it will be much better. Okay, this is the advice. So mentally,
Wow.
yeah. So I believe in that. Before, why I say before is 2, 3 years, but now it's 3, 4 years, because this is global scenario, right? A global
Mhm.
happening that things are getting more expensive,
Yep.
more tougher, right? So you have to embrace those situation, right? When you move from one to another. But then for as a PR, right? Here the healthcare is free.
Mm.
The healthcare is free. We don't have the private. I mean, the government's you will be given a health card, everyone. So when you are sick, or you can even do your physical medical check, yearly medical check. It's free. Okay, so that I think mostly also attract many people wanted to come to Canada.
Yeah, because we have to pay for ourselves here in Malaysia.
But then I think
And then
Malaysia,
check
of
out.
course, government also they have government one, but mostly most of us like we will go to the private one, right? But here,
Yes.
yeah. So yeah, and also I think most importantly is the children's education.
Mhm.
Um, a lot of people when we met before, like, okay, why you migrate to here? Oh, for my children's education. This is very commonly heard, right? Or for my children's future and all this. Right? I think it's true because the education system approach is very different from Asian country and here. Here, right, they encourage children, even very young age, from a very young age, they encourage them to speak out, and give their opinion. They are trained in that way, like from a very young age, they will stand up in front of the class, and then they will start. They have a very popular one for young kids. They say show and tell.
Mhm.
Like they are encouraged to bring some of their belongings, and then they will stay in front and then show and tell. That means those young kids, they're already being a how to say developed into the kind of speaking out their own opinion, rather than just accepting what the teacher tell them, right? So it's very different. Yeah, I think it's a good alternative for children. Yeah, for their future, it's another alternative. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's a lot of sharings,
Too
And of
much.
course, yeah. And of course, like for our audience, okay, if you are interested in knowing more about the Canada migration, okay, just drop in the comment box below, okay, or message our group. Our team will actually connect you to Janet
Yeah.
directly.
Yeah.
Okay. All the consultation will be done directly one to one with Janet
Yes.
because we are not registered. Yeah, Janet is. So we
Yeah.
will pass you to Janet. Okay, you can make sure everything is safe in hand too.
Yes. Yeah. So anyone who would like to know more, right? On of course, they're helping to connect you with me. So basically, because we as licensed consultant, right, we will we will protect your interest and your
Yes.
confidentiality. So basically, we do one-on-one. Okay, and yeah, that's what we do. So yeah, feel free to contact Danny so that you can connect. you to me for the initial assessment if you are interested. Yes.
Yes, because why? From like we work with Janet, and we see that a lot of the people is they have certain confusion, or they need some informations. They cannot look on website. That's where we get a partner from, like you are well versed with the migration. Okay, a registered consultant to help us in it.
And also one very important point also, because a lot of people have a misconception. They thought that, oh, getting a PR means I must permanently here in Canada. I cannot go back to. Some even ask me, that means I will lose out my Malaysian citizenship. I said no, because you are just you will still preserve your citizenship in your home country, right?
Mhm.
But you are a permanent resident in Canada. That's it. So you just renew your PR every 5 years or something like that.
Mhm.
But you're still keeping as you're still not the Canadian citizen yet. Yeah. So to be a Canadian citizen, you after there are another set of program. You have to apply for it, right?
Yeah.
If you like one day after. No, I know someone who is already living here for the past almost 40 years. She's still holding a PR visa. She's still a Malaysian. Yeah. So it depends. It depends on individual, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't worry about, okay, after becoming a PR, I will lose my a Malaysian citizen. No. You still have yours. This is just a PR. Yeah. That's all I want to.
Yeah.
clarify.
So don't worry on that part.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, many people because they don't have the correct information,
Yes.
so they have the misconception thought, oh, that is the way, but no, it's just a PR. Yeah, I think it's a good alternative for your future generation.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Janet, and also to our audience. Thank you so much for watching. And our program is every Wednesday, 3 p.m. Malaysia time. Okay. So next week we will have another new topic to share with you, and also we hope to see Janet again, in future time to share with us something which is much more detailed, right?
Yes, yeah, sure,
Yeah.
no problem.
Yes. All right. Thank you so much, Janet, and thank you so much to our audience. Okay.
Okay,
Goodbye.
thank you.
Thank you.
Take care, everybody.
Bye bye.